beauty brands put out so many products, and a lot of those products are actually based on trends. Buying this next product isn't going to solve whatever I'm feeling right now.
Today's guest is not only is she gorgeous, let's just start there, but she is a creative producer, she's a DJ, she's the founder of Beauty Access and Beauty Forward. Isan Elba.
Sustainability or giving back, caring about others. Like I always say, like, I don't feel like I should be praised for this. I think that this should be the foundation of what people are putting out into the world.
We're all suffering from materialism. You've done something beautiful with it, and you have such a passion for what you do. So I'm so excited to talk to you today.
I love being a creator, but I think that being a creator is definitely a foundation for something, not necessarily my full thing.
You had no idea what you were doing. You don't take no for an answer. Where does that drive, where does that confidence come from?
The biggest thing is definitely fake it till you make it. I faked this confidence, faked this I know what I'm doing energy. Balance is what people are missing. When you spend so much time just thinking about yourself and what's wrong with yourself and how do I keep improving yourself, you don't get any other perspective. You don't actually know what you're missing.
I'm Rebecca Minkoff, and this is Superwomen. Each week, inspiring women are interviewed to uncover the unexpected journeys, the challenges, and the unwavering spirit that makes them powerful. Get ready to be motivated by stories of resilience and discover the keys to unlocking your own potential. So tell me what gave you the idea for both of your companies, because you didn't just do one. So what inspired that moment within you?
So there are two versions of that answer, but I'll start with the non-boring one. The non-boring one is that I've been a creator for 4 years now, and I have so much stuff. I think we don't realize how much that we accumulate over time. And my apartment was being overrun by all these beauty products. And it was interesting for me because I had never thought in a million years that I would complain about having a Sephora in my apartment. It caused me to kind of look inward and think, I don't want these products. I know this can go to a better place. What would be the first step in figuring that out? So I did a little bit of research. I tried reaching out to different shelters and figuring out how to donate. And the process was just way more overwhelming and harder than the process of getting the products. And that's when I started thinking further of like, okay, that feels like that's an issue as well. Why is it so hard for me to donate these products?
Because there's rules around it, or because...
So a lot of shelters, which I've discovered over time, we have partnered with Women in Need. They're the largest women's shelter network in New York, and they have just provided so much insight into the other side of donations. People like to donate things. That's great and amazing. But we also need to think about the people who spend hours sorting through these things and collecting them and making sure that they actually have, enough space for the coats as well as the baby formula, as well as food and other hygiene needs. So when it comes to beauty products, especially with, different shades and products and whatever, just dumping a bunch of products on a shelter isn't the easiest thing for them as well. And that was something I was kind of cautious of. I know I have a lot of products, but I don't exactly know how you're going to be able to distribute them. Do you just put them up? Like, what is the process? And there was one shelter where I went and they just said, like, we can't accept this right now. And that's also a safety reason. They have to make sure that all the products are actually able to be used by the women and are safe for them as well.
So when you had this idea that you thought initially, oh, this is good. I have, a Sephora in my house. I'm going to donate it. And then you started encountering the barriers to even giving.
Yeah.
What was sort of the point where you were able to say, okay, I want to push through this? You might not even see an ROI today, right? Of doing good. So what gave you the sort of, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. This is critical. Women need this, especially women in need.
Absolutely. I really wanted community last year. I have a platform of thousands of people, but I don't know anybody. And I am very much a yapper. I love meeting new people, going into rooms saying, hi, I'm Isan. So I figured, why don't I put on like a in-person event? Like, why don't I figure out a way to get people, in one room where I can meet them and we can like convene around something that we all like. And when I was feeling that at the time, I was also having the same problem with products. So somehow my mind just said, why don't you put the two together? And you put together a gifting suite. So that's what I did. I had no clue whatsoever what I was doing. I'd never put on an event before. In the creator industry, it's a little taboo to give away products. So there was kind of that feeling as well. Like there was a lot of different things. But I think the main thing that made me feel like I could push through that was the fact that I've always kind of been the type who, like, you can't tell me what to do type of thing. I was like, you know what? I've never done this, but just because I've never done it doesn't mean that I can't do it. So I had an event for girls 16 through 19. We had around like 20-ish girls come in. I had 5 of my creator friends donate just around like 1,000 products. And I had a friend donate the space to me, and I set up shelves, set up the products, and they all came in, and everybody was able to leave with 2 huge bags of products. What I also wanted to implement, which I think is important, is education and knowledge and just spreading what I know. And I love being a creator, but I think that being a creator is definitely a foundation for something, not necessarily my full thing. And at that age, you think, oh, I want to be an influencer. I love free products. I love, being glamorous and getting to go to these cool events. So I was like, okay, how do I show more? I put together a career panel of different women in the industry. One was the head of PR for MAC Cosmetics. Another was a vice president at Carla Auto, a journalist at Birdie, and then the head of talent at my management company. And the whole premise was that these were people who made my job possible. I wouldn't be able to make the income that I do without them. So it was really amazing. One girl actually got an internship to Condé Nast after that. And that was my proof of concept. That was I didn't know what I was doing, but something in me told me I should keep going and just to figure it out. And after I was done with that event, I was like, this is what it was about. This is what it was for. And I got so many great people reaching out and just giving feedback, and also just sharing their story about how they have so many products. I'd love to be able to find a place to donate them. How do I get involved? So that really started what was the beginning of Beauty Access. And so I kind of explain Beauty Access as like a parent company. Our whole mission is making more sustainable and inclusive initiatives within the beauty industry, and didn't really know where I was going with that. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. But how do we do that? What are we actually building? What do you do to create something like that? And I say Beauty Forward is kind of our first product of how we do that. And Beauty Forward is a tech-enabled redistribution system that lets us do on-demand pickups from creators and then sort through all those products, log them. We're able to tell what the product name is, what the brand is it an essential or a non-essential product, and what even is the value of that product. And then from there, we distribute them to women in needs shelters on a monthly basis. So that's our first real proof of concept. So it's kind of a two-prong thing.
So you said something earlier, meaning you had no idea what you were doing. You don't take no for an answer. Where does that drive? Where does that confidence come from? Because so many people get stopped at the enormity of taking on something that's unfamiliar. And I'm just curious, have you been that way your whole life? Was it values your parents instilled into you? No.
No, I love this question because I constantly am asking this to myself as well. I'm like, how did you do that? I get impressed by myself quite often because I never would have thought that this is where I would have been in my life. And I think it just came from curiosity. I'm very curious about things. I want to know how something works and why it works. And also, the biggest thing is definitely fake it till you make it. I faked this confidence, faked this, I know what I'm doing energy, because I knew that I would do the other work on the other side to know what I was doing. If I said I was going to build a program that redistribute products, I was going to do it, even if I didn't know how in that very moment. I'm glad that I did that. And I got to a point, the more you fake it till you make it, you get to a point where you really can't go back. Like there's no way for you to back up from what you're saying. So it just pushed me in this direction. And I have passion for it no matter what. Like that fake it till you make it energy came from me knowing that I would love to be the person who could do this, even if I didn't believe it right then.
And do you find that you are parallel pathing your creator goals, your goals as a DJ? Like that's where you're going to make your money and your stamp of your creativity.
Mhm.
And then beauty forward and beauty access is your give back, or is your goal like, no, this actually can be a legitimate foundation, something that continues to give back, but also creates jobs?
Yeah. I make money from being a creator and being a DJ. I do not make money from beauty forward and beauty access, but I'm 23, so I don't really fully know where I'm going with this, I guess. But what I have realized is that it's going pretty well and it's connecting me with more opportunities that feel more aligned with what I actually believe in and what I actually really like. And being a creator is very much about what you create around. So if I wanted to just do beauty and outfit videos, I could do that. But now I've been able to switch it to how do I create content that is informative about the landscape of where beauty sits in the sustainability sector and overconsumption and bring awareness to different things like that. So I'm figuring out my voice within that, but I'd say that this has helped me build that kind of path to where do I want to be as a creator. I also think a lot of founders now are becoming creators and are finding ways to explain what they do in their real life on a digital platform. And it's really insightful. I'm so appreciative of founders like yourself who are sharing this knowledge because before you didn't know how someone did something. And now it's even easier for other people. It lowers the barrier of entry to be a founder and to make change.
Hey everyone, sorry for the quick pause. I want to share something really exciting. Superwomen has a brand new YouTube channel. It's still under construction, but big things are coming in 2026. You'll find past episodes, new episodes, and some bonus content I cannot wait for you to see. Just search Superwoman Media on YouTube and hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Okay, back to the pod. So I want to double tap on the making change because I was watching an interview and the woman on it was like, dare I say this, but it's too much self-care, too much me has actually made people so much more unhappy
Yeah.
than if it was like, what can I do for someone else? How can I support another? And in this culture of, she was calling it other care. How can I do other in caring for others? Or in doing things for others, that's actually what's going to make you feel better, not this like, let me light a candle and go do my gua sha, which is good. But like, I think we've become so focused as a society on this, the morning shed and like all this stuff. You're just like, whoa, this is so only about myself.
Yeah.
And so, what would you parlay to others who go, I don't have time for it, or I don't know, or self care is important, but how to sort of peer outside of that and say, no, there's people that need help, there's people that need support that that what you're doing, and this doesn't take a lot in order to participate.
Yeah. I I have so many thoughts on that. Ever since I've started in this journey, I've said from the beginning, I'm not the most sustainable person in the world. I am still a little bit bougie and love my nice things and, my makeup and my hair care. And what I want to try and do is kind of redefine what it means. I think that it's a balance. I can have my me time and do my morning shed and do all the crazy things I want to do as long as I'm making sure to tap back into my community and make sure that there isn't just one perspective in my life and that there's a lot of them. And I think that balance is what people are missing when you spend so much time just thinking about yourself and what's wrong with yourself and how do I keep improving yourself. You don't get any other perspective. You don't actually know what you're missing until you collaborate with other people. And as a society, we weren't meant to be as individual as we are. I felt like I grew up with phones. Like I've had a phone since I was like 6 years old. So I've always had this sense of like being tapped into like an online thing. And the more that I've gotten out in my community and met people and had real life experiences, the happier that I've been because there's only so much you can get out of a screen and self-care that's reflected from some creator that you saw online.
Yeah, people have gotten so obsessed with this that anything that wouldn't even if it's doing something good and like being like, but if I don't capture it, did anyone notice? No, do it for yourself.
Absolutely.
Do it for yourself. Like for them and yourself, not to capture it and show it, virtue single that you showed up and volunteered one day.
Exactly.
So let's talk about sustainability because every industry, fashion, beauty, there's a lot of industries that are filled with waste. I still get nauseous at how much garbage we throw out that I can't recycle or compost.
Yeah.
What do people not realize about this industry and what can they do to change and or participate in beauty access or beauty forward?
Oh, goodness. Okay. I think the first thing is just being a little bit more aware of what you have. I think the practice that I've been trying to do is realizing that buying this next product isn't going to solve whatever I'm feeling right now. I think we've gotten used to retail therapy and in that sense, and also thinking about the fact that like beauty brands put out so many products, and a lot of those products are actually based on trends. I like a practical product. If it's a 2-in-1, it moisturizes your face and also takes off your makeup, great. I'm going to get that product. And if I like the product, I'm going to keep using the product. I don't need to go try 3 other different products because they're out there or because they're trending. And as a creator, like, we get paid. I mean, maybe this isn't something that I should necessarily be talking about like that, but I think we get paid to tell people to use this product, even if we don't use them. How would we be able to use so many products? People just need to get a little bit more aware of marketing and how marketing plays a part in how you perceive things, because you don't need a million products to feel happy. You don't need a million products to feel like you're taking care of yourself. There are other practices that are probably better suited towards whatever you're dealing with than shopping for it.
So then how do you now, knowing you don't want to have a million products, you also need to make an income. So how do you temper the business side of yourself with the sustainable side of yourself with the like honest, like, hey, big corporate company is going to pay you 6 figures to post, but it's a product you'll never use. Like, where do you now sit in that world?
I'm in the in between. I've never liked the idea of random people on the internet determining whether or not I'm relevant enough to be paid a salary. um,
Okay.
and I think that that's what a lot of creators kind of go through, is this sense of I have to keep posting even if I'm unhappy, or I have to keep doing this and appeasing this brand because I want to. And I'm grateful that I have other talents and skills that allow me to do that. I mean, I branched off into DJing, and that's been something that's allowed me to do way less brand deals. And the brand deals I've been doing more recently, I've even been able to factor in my work with Beauty Access and Beauty Forward, partnering with these brands to either amplify what I'm doing or actually like come together and create an event. That's what I did with House Labs. I created content with them, but they also helped me put on our donation drive where we gave away 1,000 products. And it was a brand that I actually, they have inclusive shade ranges. Their products are cruelty free. Like, I actually felt good about supporting them. And it was a great proof of concept that I don't have to sacrifice my career as a creator. I just have to be more specific about finding like-minded companies to work with.
I think that's a great lesson for so many people to learn because until you have that, and this is a terrible word, but that authenticity,
Yeah.
you know, then you'll never resonate anyways. You'll just be the shill for everything. And
Yeah.
like you said, I get gifted stuff all the time and I sit in overwhelm. I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't get through this stuff.
No.
I think it's great that you've been able to parlay your mission into what you're doing because then it makes sense. And then and it's easy to adapt into your life too. It's not like, oh, separate thing, new headspace. Let me go focus on that.
Yeah. No. I've really been trying to integrate all the parts of my life together, because sustainability or giving back, caring about others, like, I always say, like, I don't feel like I should be praised for this. I think that this should be the foundation of what people are putting out into the world. It shouldn't just be selfish. So I hope that my story and what I do can resonate with other people, and they can figure out other ways to, or small ways to just start implementing, how do I take care of others into my daily life?
I always tell people like there's always a way to take your passion and what you like, mine is women and them succeeding.
Mhm.
And then how do you make it part of your brand? How do you take what's natural to you and really integrate it into what you love?
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of performative good doing out there. And I think that that could be fixed by people just looking a little bit deeper and thinking, like, what do I actually feel that I can contribute to community and society rather than what I think would give me the most likes and the best title?
One thing I've learned is that how you start and end your day really matters. When your home feels calm and comfortable, it gives you momentum everywhere else in your life. If you're looking to turn your home into a happy place, Cozy Earth is a great place to start. I got Cozy Earth sheets about a month ago and it made an immediate difference. Cozy Earth's Baja bedding set is beautiful. The textures, the reversible design, the way everything matches, it makes your bed feel intentional without being fussy. It's the kind of luxury that makes you crawl into bed at night. Don't miss the Luxe bath towels either. They're incredibly soft and somehow make a regular shower feel like a spa moment. Those upgrades add up. When your home feels good, everything outside of it feels more manageable. Cozy Earth stands out because the quality actually lasts. They back everything with a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty, which tells you how confident they are in their products. Start the new year off right and make home the best part of your life. Go to cozyearth.com and use code SUPERWOMEN, SUPERWOMEN, for up to 20% off. And if you see the post-purchase survey, support my show and let them know you heard about Cozy Earth here. So I'm in awe that you're 23. You're extraordinarily mature, not to sound like the old lady, but you're extraordinarily mature and just like worldly. Where does that come from?
Oh goodness. Actually, my dad's side of the family is from Africa, but he grew up in London, and my mom was born in Korea, but she grew up in Denmark, and I grew up between Atlanta and London. So I've always had a lot of different perspectives in my life. I've always like I can say I can talk to a wall, and that's not because like I don't find people interesting. I find them so interesting that I can talk to anybody and find something that we can relate to and relate on. I'd say that like I constantly put myself out there. I constantly meet people. I constantly try to learn about things. There's sometimes when I want to be 23 and I want to go out with my friends and do things, but there's other times where I'm like, what do I want to say I'm good at 55? Maybe that's the guitar or something. Okay, I'm going to start trying that now even if I'm not good at it. That's
Yeah.
how DJing came about. I said I wanted to be a DJ, and then I started practicing, and here I am.
When you look at the dedication it takes to learn one industry or now master 2/3, what advice would you love to parlay of what it takes? Because you're now oversitting 3 different industries in a way.
Yeah.
And I'll follow that up with sometimes you can be used, not you, a person in your role could be used in a very transactional way. We want to hire her just to DJ.
Hmm.
We want to hire her just to create for us.
Yeah.
And then you have to be like, oh, actually, no, I want you to like dig deeper and do more.
Hmm.
And this is how I want you to do it. So talk me through how you sort of get these bigger corporations to do more.
Oh, I say the word that can describe me is kind of cheeky. Like
Okay. I like
I
that.
I'll push the buttons. Like when it comes to even brand deals. There was a brand deal that I did, and this is the example for Beauty Access where they asked me to promote something, and I said, I'll only do it if I can include Beauty Access in the deal.
Yeah.
And at the time, my manager was like, I don't really know. Like, that's not what they're trying to promote right now. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do it if they don't.
Right.
So they ended up doing it. You don't get anything unless you ask and you try. There's a lot of people who I meet where if they ask me something that's like kind of out of the box or confident enough, I'll probably say yes.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I like someone who's putting themselves out there. And if all the signs are pointing to maybe that wouldn't work, like there's always like one sign that says maybe it could. I try to do that. I try to put myself out there. I also understand that on the brand point of view, you have to add value to them. So as a creator, I can also DJ for you. I can also create content about that. And if you're a beauty brand, then you could also have your beauty brand donate the products to us as well. Like I try to build a world for them and have them step into that so that they understand all the things I do and why I do them. And the second part of that answer is passion. Like I think people really, really underestimate how passionate you have to be about something. I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about sustainability and giving back. I'm passionate about being a creator and wearing cute clothes and showing people that. Like, I just love doing these things. And because I love doing these things, it's something that I constantly implement. And I've been finding it hard recently. I've been kind of struggling with how to balance all of these things together because it's a lot for me to do. But I kind of really think about what is one. I think about, okay, well, I need to, make enough to be able to live. But also, like, if I dedicate more time to the thing that makes me happy, then it'll be easier for me to be able to provide for myself. I'm not living to work, I'm working to live. I implement that philosophy into what I do.
So when you say you like the passion required, like a perfect example is my daughter. Sometimes she'll be like, well, I'm going to be famous. I'm like, no, 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 nope. Back it up. What do you love to do?
Yes.
And, she'll say famous and rich. And I'm like, nope. What are the things that you love to do? Like that, let's
Like,
focus on those things that bring you joy. But there's a lot of that out there, right? There's a lot of the creator economy is money, fame. What would you say to someone listening who sometimes is like, ooh, that feels good, but then it's like, oh my gosh, this is so much work. So much work to do what you do. It's so much work to have a podcast and design. And it's not just like I get to come on here and then that's over.
yeah.
So what would you say about learning that lesson young?
What young people have a problem with is like really accepting that something super simple is true. And that is, if you want to do it, then you will do it. I was just like your daughter, like, wanted all these different things. But when I thought about, oh my God, then I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and I have to do that. And everybody kept saying, well, you just have to keep working, never give up, whatever. It was like, okay, like, that's not helping me right now. Like, tell me what I need to do so I can quickly get to this point. It is that simple. It really is. It's figure out what you want to do and keep going no matter what. And I'm not gonna say there's never days where I'm like, I don't want to freaking do this. But I think I always think about the end goal. I'm not just thinking about the short term reward. I'm thinking about the long term reward. And maybe sometimes I'm not as sharp as I want to be in a meeting or DJ set or whatever. But as long as I'm showing up, I give myself a pat on the back because a lot of people, when things get hard, they just stop doing it. And that's what separates the people who say they're going to be rich and famous and the people who are rich and famous. As I've been finding my passion, like, I didn't just find my passion by like stumbling across it. Like, I tried out a bunch of different things and I continue to try out a bunch of different things. When I started doing creating, I thought I would have a very different path. I would go from a creator to an actor to doing YouTube and then having a cult following or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't even really think I knew what I was doing as a creator. And then when it came into DJing, then I was like, oh, well, I love DJ. I'm going to keep doing this more and more. And then I'm going to start playing at different clubs and I'm going to DJ and at Coachella and whatever. And I think all those things can happen. It's just not right now because my passion right now is beauty forward and giving back.
Right. So for anyone listening, if they want to become part of Beauty Forward, what can they do? I'm sure everyone listening has a million products that they thought they were going to use that are untouched.
Yeah.
Do you want to receive packages? How do we do this?
So right now, where we are receiving packages, but everything that we're doing is kind of a work in progress. We're a really small team, so there's only so many products that we can accept, but we're constantly posting about when we're able to accept products and the process that you go through to accept products. And so I would say to follow us on Beauty Access on Instagram, and then check out our website at beauty-forward.org. And that is where you can kind of keep up with this journey because I am constantly working on this. I'm constantly refining it and making it better. And my goal is to scale it to be able to reach more people and get as many donations going as we can.
Awesome. So if you had any last piece of advice, I feel like you've given us a ton in this interview of just someone who wants to take a little bit of their attention off of their self, do good, give back, incorporate their passion into their career, what would you say?
We'll go back to my main point, which is always putting yourself out there and meeting people. But to add on to that, I will say being kind and like genuine, like be a genuine person. I think that has done more for me than anything, is just actually asking people how their day was and caring about it. I think a great example of this is when I had the career panel. I've been asked so many times, how did you get all those women to be on this freaking panel? And it was just because I was genuinely curious as for what they did and curious to learn from them and be the first person to say I don't know something. Because I was so honest, vulnerable, and genuine with them, they said yes to coming to speak on that panel. So I would always lead with that, because at the end of the day, if someone sees your true intentions, then you're going to be on the right path if they say yes or no.
Yeah. And I love that you said you're a bit cheeky. You'll ask the question. So many people are afraid.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'll say like, I'll throw out something that makes me want to vomit in asking for it. But oftentimes that's what gets you across the line.
No, and this right here, like I'm on a podcast with you. Like this is literally my testament. I just started asking a bunch of questions, so you can too.
Yes, I just wanted to underline that because so many people are just scared to even just blurt it out. I'm like, blurt it out and deal with the nausea, okay?
Yeah, you'll be okay. You won't die.
You won't die. That's the thing is like the worst that could happen is still not death after asking the question.
And that's the worst.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on today. And if someone wants to follow your journey, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on all my social medias, which is just at Isan Elba, ISANELBA.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching today's episode. Before you head out, I want to invite you to my brand new YouTube channel for all things Superwomen. It's a fresh space I'm building out for 2026, packed with past episodes, future episodes, and some special new content we're cooking up. Just search Superwomen Media on YouTube and subscribe so you're there for everything coming next. I'll see you over there. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, take a second to rate and review the show wherever you're tuning in. It really helps others find the podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at Rebecca Minkoff and at RM Superwomen, or for a slice into my personal life at Becky Minkoff. And don't forget to check out my book, Fearless, The New Rules for Unlocking Creativity, Courage, and Success. See you next week.